Hey travelers, today I want to talk to you about traveling as a single traveler. Sometimes you can have some really amazing experiences. And I love the ability to just think, gosh, I want to hop into town, chuck my towel in my room, get a quick change, and off I go on the bus and I'm heading into town. However, there's a few downsides to traveling on your own. I hate eating on my own. Buffet is fine because you're in, you're out. But if you wanted to have a nice sit down a la carte dinner, it's just really difficult as a single person. The food comes, you eat it. You tend to eat faster because you're not having conversation in between unless the waiter's kind of chatty. So you finish your food and then you wait. I mean, unless you bring a book, and let's be honest, a lot of the evening restaurants are lit for ambiance, not for reading. I don't know what else you're gonna do, sit on your phone, I guess, post some Facebook pictures, make everybody at home jealous. Haha, you could be here. But you're not. In general, I just find the experience sort of lacks. It's just not as much fun as if you were traveling with somebody and enjoying the meal together. You could discuss the flavors and stuff like that. Plus, I like to taste the other person's food. So if you're traveling on your own, that's not really an option. Well, unless you order 2 meals, but I mean, that seems a bit greedy to me. No judgment. So overall, the thing is, if you're traveling on your own, I mean, obviously, especially as a single woman, safety and security are the most important.
You shall not pass!
You're not going to want to have a ground floor room. If you do, you're going to want to make sure that the first thing you check is your balcony door, that it securely locks. And otherwise, just go back to reception and ask if you can be on a higher floor so that you don't have to worry about people breaking into your room in the middle of the night. I mean, that can happen anywhere, let's be honest, folks. When you're in a foreign country and you're probably going to have a few cocktails, you just don't want to put yourself in a risky situation. So safety and security are very important. And I will say from my experience over the years that if you're staying at a cheap and cheerful resort, the security around the resort is a little bit less.
Come on in!
Than if you're staying at a higher end property where there is a bit more care and concern for who's coming on to the property.
Get out right now!
So that aside, the other thing is the whole experience. And for me, the biggest thing is service. I mean, obviously you want to have good food, you want to have good drinks, but if you have great service, that is above all the best contributing factor to knowing that you're going to have a great vacation. I do expect if I'm sitting at the bar and it's not that busy and I'm having a glass of wine, that the bartender's going to chat a little bit. I mean, probably there's going to be a language barrier if we're in Mexico because mi español is no bueno. But I'm also not afraid to pull out my phone and use Google Translate to help the conversation along. And usually they can translate better than I can. So it's a good way for me to improve my Spanish and learn a little bit more about not only the employee and what their life is about, but also a little bit more about what it's like to work at that resort. But let's face it, if you're staying at a resort on your own, you are kind of creating the entertainment in your vacation. I mean, there's going to be activities that are happening at the resort, but generally speaking, you are just more aware of what's happening. You're going to hear more other conversations. You're going to witness the staff more because, again, you're not having that conversation about, hey, what do you think you want for dinner tonight? So because you're more conscious of what's happening around you, I just would recommend that you always book something a resort that's really got a high standard. It doesn't have to be the best of the best, but certainly book a resort where the service is going to be good. You're going to be able to have that interaction as well as good food, good drinks, great service, as I mentioned, and of course that safety and security factor. So I hope you found that interesting. I've got another video coming up about group travel and what you surprisingly might not know about picking a resort for a group. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, please check out this resort. If you're a single traveler, highly recommend. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. We'll see you on the next one.